Sims, and we are back with more Color X Malice Unlimited. Still in Sasazuka's after story, and still in chapter 2. These are long chapters. I rambled a lot in the last part. Look, it's nothing new, okay? Anyway, so we're jumping back in where we left off. I'm back. I timidly announced myself and took off my shoes. It was sunset, and I just returned from work. I was greeted with silence. Right, Sasazuka said that he didn't know when he'd be back today. Sasazuka was currently assigned to the Takadano Baba serial shooting. Look, man, we had it yesterday. Not really, but as our CPO had heard some rumblings that the weapons distributed during the Shinjuku quarantine were suspected. I heard an update on the case earlier today. A car had been stopped at a traffic intersection when it had been riddled with bullets from a concealed shooter. The shootings were becoming increasingly aggressive, and Sasazuka was deeply involved in headquarters' efforts to solve the case swiftly. What horrible timing. Well, of course, it wasn't right of me to wish for a criminal to consider my own schedule, but the case was making it challenging for me to make up with Sasazuka. I should text him at least. Do you think the case is going to drag on? Probably. Are you coming home today? I'll prepare dinner for you. Don't need it. Staying at the office. Sasazuka had always been brief and concise in his text messages, but it felt like his tone read even more blunt today. Ooh. Okay, I'll be waiting for you. There's food on the table. It's like off on the side. Just go to bed. I feel like this has happened before. When have you been? I'm about to cry. Just be good and wait. At times, Sasazuka had also reluctantly accepted my consideration. I looked back through our text from last December and could imagine Sasazuka's irritated face as he typed out a reply. That is a frickin' long way to scroll if you're texting someone that you're in a relationship with. You probably texted them quite a fucking bit. And the thought was a small relief. I put my phone down and lazily looked around the room. This was Sasazuka's home, though it didn't feel very lived in, all the more so now that its owner wasn't home. It's just like when we first met. Sasazuka says a bunch of heartless stuff to me, and then I get all depressed. I felt like time had rewound, then slowed to a stop as I spaced out in the apartment that felt too large for one person. It's one room. I don't have that problem. I like having space, man. Look at that. Okay, so we probably could have finished this chapter in the last part. I don't know. Anyway. Chapter 3. Better late than never. 5:11, 11:49 p.m. With every rhythmic tap of my fingers on the keys, each click seemed to be lecturing me. It may be more appropriate to call them strikes rather than taps. I've been furiously striking the keys for over 3 hours, and the sounds of the keyboard only worsened my already foul mood. I feel like every day he's in a foul mood. When he smiles at you, you're like, are you on drugs? I love him, don't get me wrong, but I think he might be on drugs when he feels happy. Ugh, pissed off. I tried telling myself to focus on my job. The scene from yesterday kept replaying itself in the back of my mind. You still don't understand after I've laid it all out, then go. I won't stop you. But don't bother coming back here. Spacey had been about to go home, and it wouldn't have been good for either sister or brother. I knew that had been correct in that moment, but that didn't mean that what Spacey had been saying was wrong either. Just because you're correct doesn't mean it's okay to hurt someone. I should have already known that. And normally she would have given in as soon as I had asserted myself. The fact that Spacey had reacted so strongly was proof of how precious her brother was to her. Also, the fact that I'm like, normally I'd be like, you're not going to do it. Okay, whatever. And now she's like, I'm going to kick your ass. It's like, I'm rubbing off on her in the wrong way. In quite a lot of ways, actually, but maybe I was the one who overreacted. A little bit. Just a little bit. I mean, what he was saying wasn't wrong. Like, no, you need to leave him be. Don't drive him away if you baby him, you know what I mean? Like, but you said it in such a nasty way, it made us feel like an asshole. Like, God, you're being such a bitch. Like, I don't think so. But you know what I mean? Like, I mean, they both have valid points. Like, we want to check in on our brother. He's never been alone, and like, but you have to trust that your brother will tell you if he needs you. Or you just offer, hey, if you want to have dinner anytime, just let me know. I'll come over and make dinner, whatever. You go, you hang out, and you come back, and you leave. You leave him alone, Damn it. I couldn't get the image of Spacey's pained face out of my head. Such a pain when there isn't one easy answer. This was wasted, too. I imagined my desk for some donuts that I thought to eat with Spacey yesterday. In the end, we hadn't had the chance to enjoy them, so I brought them to work. Under normal circumstances, the bag would have been emptied in less than an hour. It was still full. Oh, he's so depressed he can't even eat donuts. Oh no, we broke him. Sasazuka's broken. Sasazuka, are you still working at this hour? I don't... Look, Minagishi's kind of hot, so I'm kind of glad we get a sort of route with him. Minagishi, yeah, I am. I know this may not mean much coming from your boss, but your health is important as well. I know you got sick recently, so don't overexert your body. He's so sweet. Just want to pat him on the head. Such a good boy. I know. I'm just going to work until I reach a good stopping point. More importantly, sir, the analysis of that image is finished. As I said that, a picture popped up on one of my monitors. It was a grainy image of what appeared to be two boats anchored next to each other on the ocean. There's important evidence suggesting that the weapons used in the recent shootings were smuggled. That didn't have a thing on it. At least the glossary thing popped up without the highlight. Smuggling! The importing or exporting things that are banned by law or ordinance. Items that are smuggled are called contraband, and they're typically weapons, drugs, wildlife, counterfeit items, etc., sometimes fruit. Some smuggling incidents are simply due to a lack of proper paperwork, but many of the cases involve organized crime who smuggle for profit. I saw the report, so this was where the deal went down, huh? If it occurred at sea, then it's no wonder it took this long to track down the route. Indeed, in the end, it hadn't been that complicated. They avoided any land-based locations that could easily be tracked, used GPS coordinates to rendezvous at sea, and conducted business there. And then they just had to return to port and everyone would be none the wiser. The MO had been simple in hindsight, but it had resulted in real weapons being smuggled into Japan, so it would have been quite effective. Working with counter-organized... Counter-organized? Okay. I'm assuming that's the name of a group, but, within the police department. Anyway, we've already tracked down and arrested the owner of the boats. Counter-organized, short for Counter-Organized Crime Department. Okay, that makes more sense. Also known as the Organized Crime Division. Because just saying, working with counter-organized, we've already... Assuming, if it's a group, it makes sense in that sentence. If it's not a group, it doesn't make sense in the sentence. You know what I mean? You would never say organized that way, organized what? But it's a group, so... They were posing as private import-export company, but after investigating, it turned out to be a shell company with no business activity. They have a merchant site on the dark web, so we're putting out feelers to root that out. But thank you. The way things are going, the shooters will be apprehended soon as well. So hopefully it's just a matter of time until we can stamp out the smuggling route. Yeah. I nodded and picked up the plastic bag and offered some to Minagishi. Help yourself. For me? Really? Oh. I don't have much of an appetite. Minagishi peeked into the bag, his eyes lit up. It's certainly uncommon for you to offer your precious donuts to other people. You know what's really weird? They spelled donuts 2 different ways in this game. One time they spelled like this, do, nuts, and then the other time they spell it dough, D-O-U-G-H, nuts. I don't know if there's a right way to spell it, because I think you can spell it both ways. Look, it's kind of like canceled. It's spelled 2 different ways, and spell check will never correct you, because one is the UK way of spelling it, and one is the English, the American way of spelling it. US and UK but they're both right. It's like color and color. Look, there's no U in color, goddammit, but there is in the UK. So it's but you'd think they'd have some consistency on typing donuts. But then again, Tim is a terrible typist and can't even remember to type the words accurately. So I just thought it was interesting. Why don't you take them home? Isn't Hoshino waiting for you? Why don't you hear that? And don't underestimate my intelligence network. Should buy something else anyway. Go ahead and take some. Were his instincts sharp, or was he just acting like he didn't know anything, despite knowing most of it? Minagishi frowned slightly, then seemed to make up his mind and asked a question. Did you have a fight with Hoshino? Pretty much. I'd be happy to talk about it if you don't mind. I'm not exactly a stranger to you both. I know I love you, you precious. There isn't much to talk about. It's a difference of opinion. I'll figure it out on my own. I don't think I need any advice right now. You see, I was hoping I could give some help. So I secretly love her. Oh, he's carrying a file. I couldn't figure out what the fuck was going on. I was like, why is it like... It took me way too long because I was reading and I was glancing out of the corner of my eye and I'm like, what the hell is like flesh toned? It's not his arm. It's weird. It's a fucking file folder. Okay. Wow. Again, I wasn't like totally focused on it. I actually had to stop, look over and be like, what the... It took way too long for my brain to register that, is all I'm saying. Minagishi seemed troubled by my firm refusal. He sighed. Perhaps I'll ask Hoshino directly then. I happen to have business to attend to at Shinjuku Station later today. Oh, perhaps I'll even ask her out on a date. Wow, that's funny. What? I stopped paying attention to my monitor and looked up at him. What did you just say? Nothing out of the ordinary, I believe. It'd be a good opportunity to thank her for all of her help on the X-Day cases. See, it's kind of funny that they throw this out and like Minagishi has like a sort of route. You know what I mean? Like a side story where we're dating him. Because you never got... In the first game, it wasn't like he's kind of eyeballing you and you're like, hot side character, why can't we date you? Me, I was like, he's kind of cute. We could date him. That'd be fine. Whatever, we're not gonna, but okay. But it's just funny that they throw it in here that he's like, I can ask her out on a date. Oh, okay. All right. Anyway. I know he's doing it to rile up Sasuzuka, but it's still funny. Besides, Hoshino is an attractive woman. Anyone would want to take her out for dinner. I had no idea what Minagishi intended by suddenly dropping this on me. Well, one thing was clear. If he was being serious right now, then that made him my enemy. That isn't a funny joke. He talks about stealing a man's girlfriend right in front of him. I glared back at Minagishi. And when I did, he chuckled as if he found it amusing. You've changed, Sasuzuka. Me? Changed? Yes, and I mean that in a good way. Not too long ago, you would have responded with something like, oh, sure, go ahead. I couldn't deny it. It's like, I believe we first met around the time of the August incident. My first impression of you was that you were an exceptionally talented cybercrime analyst whose main flaw was an inability to cooperate with others. Sounds pretty spot on. He's like, still kind of like that. I couldn't deny the assessment, and I didn't intend to. I'd see no reason to lower myself to the level of other people around me if it meant my own performance would suffer. And that was the kind of person I had been. Still kind of are. I mean, maybe you work better with others now, but you're still, you know. To be blunt, I think it's no surprise that the public is criticizing the police as being utterly incompetent. My words had caused a ruckus in the room around me. It had been August of last year, shortly after I'd been assigned to the Shinjuku task force to investigate the serial X-Day crimes. The words I'd said at our first meeting had been enough to make everyone in the room feel ashamed. At this point, there have been over 15 victims shot to death in the August incident. Despite that, the police haven't taken any effective measures to prevent further attacks. How can we deny that we've been negligent? That's enough, Sasuzuka. You're disparaging the efforts of all the investigators who put their blood and sweat into solving these cases. I hope no cops actually talk like that, but you know. And where are the results? No one's come up with anything concrete. That may be true, but those results aren't something that can happen overnight. Not that I'd expect some punk sitting in his computer all day to understand. Have you ever been to a single crime scene? Didn't this idiot realize that exact complacency had led to the police scandal that motivated the April and May attacks? It was becoming too bothersome to even voice my complaints, so I continued to watch the meeting in disappointment. After the utter waste of time they called a meeting came to a close, Minagishi had come over to me. Sasuzuka, was it? Thank you for sharing your opinion in that meeting. I've always been concerned about our department's poor response times to crime scenes, and your comment hammered that point home. Commissioner Minagishi, surprised you don't have a problem with my attitude. Your tone was rather harsh, but you were simply stating the truth. While I won't pretend to understand why you seem so impatient, the police can't change their ways overnight. I'd like you to continue your hunt for our criminals. Wow. For the criminals over the internet, so that we can solve this as quickly as possible. I'm already doing that, obviously. Still, that was a surprise. I've heard rumors about you. You're rational and utilitarian and refuse to waste your time, even if it's an order from above. I didn't figure you for the type that would voice a grievance at a meeting, knowing it would fall on deaf ears. Is that supposed to be sarcasm? Perish the thought. I was just surprised to discover that you were more passionate than I expected. Your personality isn't relevant, Spacey. Learn to read. Look, Tim can't type and Spacey can't read. Anyway, my personality isn't relevant to this investigation. I was just trying to tell those lazy-ass detectives to get off their asses. How they deal with that is their own problem. It hurts to hear you say that, but we'll do our best. Nagishi smiled bitterly, then left as I looked on in disappointment. He was just like the others. They'd try their best, fully commit their resources, and insist the situation was under investigation. In reality, they were a bunch of incompetents that blathered platitudes while taking no real action. Some fool in leadership had decided that haphazardly lifting the weapons ban was actually a good idea. I no hopes for people who thought that way. Meaning that I'll just have to do whatever I can on my own. And that mindset had driven my every action back then. Done. Next. Whoa, that was fast. It hasn't even been 10 minutes. What? You're still not done? Ugh, just give it to me. Grabbed the drive out of my coworker's hand and forcibly plugged it in. Obviously didn't take too kindly to that. What are you all pissed off for, man? If we start panicking now, we'll never get anywhere. And let me ask you this. What exactly would it take for you to get off your asses and start panicking? 15 people. 15 people just died by gunshot here in Japan. Say it was an X-Day attack this time, but the public's now armed and terrified. Same thing could easily happen again. What do you think this is, America, where we just shoot people for no fucking reason? No! Yeah, but the opposite could happen too. Conventional methods haven't stopped these guys, so maybe an armed public could give them pause. Yeah, no, that's when the school shootings start anyway. You can't deny that the guns are an effective deterrent. No! Guns aren't meant to be deterrents. Aren't meant to be deterrents. Meant. Just weapons. You know, he's being childishly obstinate out of principle. They couldn't stand the way things were now. I was pissed off that these idiots had already let themselves become desensitized to this insane situation and acted like it was business as usual. I mean, called out a little, huh? Like Minagishi said, it's only natural to have objections, and yet... Pardon me. He's so, like, calm and just, like, he's like a nice placid lake. He's just like, oh, are we fighting? Okay, children, don't fight. Good work today. Can I have a moment of your time? Just as I was thinking of Minagishi, the man himself strolled into the room. Commissioner, what are you doing here? Just bringing over some new documents. Take a look. Wait, this is... Well, are you serious? Do we even have enough security clearance to be reading these, sir? Minagishi placed several documents pertaining to the current investigation on a table. The reports contained a wealth of information that even we hadn't seen before, including detailed personal information. Hey, why have you been hiding this? Hiding what? Don't play dumb. If you'd handed over this intel sooner, we could have limited the... It wasn't verified information, and verifying it takes time. We also can't rule out the possibility that there's a leak within the police department. We have no choice but to be cautious about sharing information. A leak in the police department? Should I? She's standing in the corner. A leak in the police department, you said. Interesting. Oh my god. You just see him sneaking in the back corner back there. Like, wait, why should I be back there? Hiding under a desk. I know that. But if this had come even a few days later, more people might have died. True. And if we had tipped our hand too early, then the enemy would have caught wind of our plans, and that could lead to more casualties as well. Splitting hairs. I'd prefer it if you consider this a gesture of my trust in you. But I don't trust you. That said, this was probably the first time since I joined the police that I'd seen a superior officer actually take prompt and decisive action. I like how they don't make Minagishi like, oh my god, he's completely fucking stupid and you like he's smart and capable, and they like, you know, especially because he's going to be a love interest later, but it's not like, oh, he's a bumbling buffoon or he's the backstabber. You know what I mean? Like, because it's really easy to make the side character. They're the traitor. Oh, side character that we loved. You know, like Sayaki. You know? Or, you know, all the upper level cops. Oh, they're all bumbling buffoons. No, he's like pretty fucking on, so. I mean, he's got glasses too, so like, how do you not love a man in glasses? Come on. I guess the brass around here are only good at making excuses. That's enough, Sasazuka. You've gone too far. Huh. No, stuffing a donut in his little chubby cheeks. I put down the stack of documents, took a bite of a donut. See, donuts felt different. And turned back to my keyboard. Then a sudden laugh rang out, one I couldn't ignore. I love this one. What now? No, just watching you munch on a donut while giving me that bad attitude. And the disconnect between your words and actions is terribly amusing. The CGs in this are so good. I love them. Don't make fun of my donuts! Pardon me, that I was just taken aback. Are you fond of donuts? I need sugar. Every word I waste on you costs me valuable calories. I see. In that case, I'll be sure to resupply you in the future. Look, don't be a bootlicker. Just do your job, please. It's really funny that he's saying don't be a bootlicker to the fucking... Look at his hair! He's saying don't lick my boots, God. To your upper level management, basically. But look at his fucking hair. Like, that's not like on the screen behind him. That is his hair just like wooing way in the back. That is fucking incredible. What is happening? That is some bedhead or some shit going on. It is amazing. Oh my god. I wish you can't point on the Switch. You know what I mean? Like you can on the Vita, but you can clearly see Sasazuka's hair and like the crazy shit it's doing. I love it. Oh my god. Like, this is just kind of, I like it in general, and then that's just hilarious. My job's all I do, and earning your trust is part of it. Okay, and then they do this, and look at Minagishi. He's pretty fucking hot in this CG. Come on, you can't deny it. What? What does that even mean? Well, when my own staff can't trust me, then that leads to more victims. It's my personal creed. As humans, we all have our individual beliefs and opinions, but an organization cannot function if each of its members do whatever they want. And so the first pillar of my job is to gain the trust of each member of my team. And that's my responsibility as a leader. I don't know why he's so adorable, but I love him. You're a man of rare talent, but I still consider you a valuable member of my team, and I need your trust. So I'll do my job in order to earn that. Fine, do whatever you want. Although in the end, I failed to gain your trust, and you ended up quitting the police. What? You hold a grudge? Minagishi chuckled after recalling an episode I'd rather not remember. You were utterly unconcerned about social relations back then. But for argument's sake, if the old you was in a lover's quarrel, you'd have weighed the cost of making up against the benefit and abandoned the relationship. You might be right. But now you've become a man who's willing to compromise, because you sincerely want to repair your relationship with Hoshino. That's why I say that you've changed. Not really. I mean, she might initiate it on her own. I still don't think that my opinion was wrong. You don't think you were wrong, but you also aren't willing to give up the relationship. Isn't that the answer? Your indecision is proof that you want to make up with her. I couldn't deny it. To tell the truth, I was desperately trying to think of a way to make things right, even as we spoke. I wish that I could do something about this growing irritation in my chest. I thought he was going to call Minagishi a growing irritation. You've met someone so precious to you that you can't stand to let her go. So please, as Minagishi was about to continue his spiel, a sharp alarm tone rang out through from my computer speakers. I got you now. Is this the website we discussed earlier? Yeah, I lured them into a phishing site I set up. If this plays out right, look at the data we need. The display in front of us showed the other party's access logs in real time. Their lips twisted into a triumphant grin as they handed over their credentials. None the wiser. I got a few ideas, but I'll start with this. I was dealing with a scumbag that dared to disturb the peace of this country with firearms for their own amusement. There was no reason at all for me to pull my punches. Glaring at the screen, my fingers began to fly across the keyboard. Sucks to be you, punk. You're gonna help me blow off this steam. I hope it's Tachibana. It'd be kind of funny. Because it's like, where is he coming back into this? We're in chapter 3 and there's only 4, so. What's wrong, Hoshino? You're sighing. Haven't you ever heard that happiness escapes every time you sigh? Sorry, sir. I know you must be exhausted. I had you help with a lot of my work this week. I hadn't realized that I must have been audibly sighing at work. There was more than one reason for that, but I shook my head and replied with a vague smile. Mochita glanced over at the clock. You're done for today, aren't you? I heard your brother is playing a concert tonight. You should take the chance to go unwind. Thank you, I will. Is this Sayeki? A concert, huh? That's pretty rare for you. Hey, Sayeki. It's kind of weird when he pops in. I know. Okay, look. I know we figured it out the last time he popped in, but it's still weird when you're like, knowing what I know and what we don't know, but we know. I know, but I don't. I know, but I don't know. Like, we know, she doesn't know, me doesn't know, but me knows. That's weird. Anyway. Are you slacking off again? Don't blame me if someone yells at you. I'm not slacking off. I'm a model police officer who protects and serves from dawn to dusk, you know. When I'm not being part of Adonis, but okay. I was on my way out, so I thought I'd stop in and check on you. Sayeki shook his head in playfully, and I couldn't help but giggle in response. I'm not sure. I really wish I knew what voice we gave him, but whatever. So, Hoshino, are you going to the concert with your boyfriend? Huh? You should bring him. The more the merrier. Sorry, but I'm going by myself. We couldn't make our schedules work. Oh, why don't you come with me, Sayeki? I think you can still get tickets at the door. That's gonna go over well. Nah, I'm good. It wouldn't be very decent to your boyfriend. I'm not allowed to have male friends now? Wow. No, Sayeki's more like, Sasazuka will fucking kill me. I'm afraid of that man. He may be little, but he's feisty. Oh. Plus, I don't do so well in big crowds. I hate it when people step on my feet, you know, and I might be tempted to kill them, and then it would just, like, throw off my whole cover. Sayeki chuckled and walked off, waving. It was also about time for me to leave work. I'll be heading out now. I got ready to leave, said my goodbyes, then left the building. Ladies. Oh my god, Heroes concerts are the best! I was really worried at first when he said they were incorporating solos. What if his new bandmate messes up his music? But now I feel like if Kazuki stops playing the guitar, there's something missing from the song. Totally. Ever since Kazuki joined the band, their sound is so deep, you know? It's like their music is speaking directly to me. Every time I hear it, I get chills. Okay, it sounds vapid and stupid when she says this. When you're reading it like this, you're like, God. But we all feel that way. There's songs that you're like, I feel this song in my soul, but we don't think it sounds retardedly stupid when we say it until you read it like this. Oh my god, I feel it in my soul. Okay, Becky, Jesus. Like, after hearing the fans gush, I felt it was fair to say they were all on Cloud 9. It had been less than an hour since the end of the concert, but there were still dozens of ecstatic fangirls knowing about the entrance to the venue. I slipped past the excitedly chatting fans to meet Kazuki in the lounge. You were great, Kazuki. You were outstanding too, Ashiki. People were really moved by your music. Is Ashiki here? Oh, he's so beautiful! I love him. I don't remember the voice we gave him. He had a quiet, delicate voice, didn't he? We'll just kind of go with that anyway. But good evening, Miss Hoshino. And thanks for coming to hear us play. It looked like they'd finally gotten some time to take a break. Kazuki dried his sweat with a towel, then came over to greet me. So what's it like outside? There's a ton of fans still standing around, gushing over your show. He's a perma angry. They're saying that your new solo is amazing. Kazuki replied with a disinterested grunt, but I'd been his sister long enough to have an idea of how he really felt. That brisk grunt was laced with happiness. He's like, yeah, cool. Just doesn't want to show it. Moody little bitch, I love him. Nowadays it feels pretty normal to have you over when we have a show, despite Kazuki nearly pitching a fit the first time you showed up. I love him, he's so precious. Well, of course I would. I wanted her to leave this time too. Just can't focus when my family's here watching me. Wow, okay, that really pisses me off. As Kazuki turned away in a huff, my eyes met Ishiki's and we laughed. So, tell me what you think about Kazuki's performance tonight compared to when he first joined us. Don't bother asking her, Ishiki. She doesn't know anything about music. Well, I can tell that you're definitely improving on the guitar. Though I'm not enough of a music fan to describe how I know that's true. But you showed me how hard you've been working. Whatever. Isn't it nice, Kazuki? Your sister's complimenting you. In fact, he is getting better. The day when his guitar takes the spotlight from my vocals isn't so far off. What? But if you quit the band and go solo, that'll put us in a tight spot. Oh well. Hey, stop saying that! Ishiki, I never leave! Sorry, I trust you, of course. Kazuki's face flushed red at Ishiki's teasing. The sight warmed my heart. Are you getting enough to eat? Do you need help with chores at home? Are you lonely living alone? I've been dwelling on those thoughts before I saw him tonight, but... And by the way, we've already been offered another show. It's going to be a bigger gig this time. For real? That means we gotta finish our next songs before then. Now I saw that it would have been insensitive of me to ask those questions. With a mixture of joy and loneliness, I decided that I'd keep my distance and watch over Kazuki. Oh, sorry, Miss Hoshino. I know this doesn't have anything to do with you. Please, you don't have to feel like you need to include me. I'm happy I got to see Kazuki doing so well. I think I should be getting home anyway. As I turned to leave, a thought occurred to me. The last two songs on your set list tonight were new, weren't they? Crescent Moon and Onward? I think they were good, kind songs. That made me look into my own heart. Yeah? So you feel that way about them too? I'm very happy to hear your thoughts. Onward is one of, I swear to God, isn't it the name of, maybe that's Kazuki's side story. Pride is Minagishi's. There's names to the side stories, and I think Kazuki's might be Onward because it sounded familiar, but anyway. Alright, we're very happy to hear your thoughts. I don't know if I said that. Kazuki and I have woven a lot of our feelings into those songs. Oh. Is Onward about leaving Akito behind, and that's why that's his side story name, because it's when he met Akito? Oh God, I'm gonna cry. Oh, that's so heartbreaking. I love those two. I know they're not like actually I'm like, oh my God, seriously. Holy shit, that hurts the soul. Oh, those poor babies. Poor Kazuki, he doesn't deserve this. Like, everyone else, fuck it, whatever, but you don't deserve this. Sayeki's free running around and poor Okito's in jail. Oh, no. Oh my God. I didn't need to ask what sort of feelings those were. I, as well as the other concert staff, avoided saying his name, but I felt that the songs brought out our sincere feelings on the matter. Your feelings reach him. They will. I'll make it happen. See? He's so in love with him. It's not even funny. Oh. I know, it's just they have like just a beautiful bromance, but I don't care. I'm still gay shipping it, okay? I can't stand just waiting around. In the beginning, there's only been one thing I could do. I have to create the best music I possibly can and keep doing it until it reaches him. Sorry. I know it's like bromantic, but it's still romantic too. I don't even care. Yeah, even if some part of the guy we knew was part of his true self. And then he'll answer us when that music reaches him. Yeah. Even if he tries to deny who he really is. Oh, that's Kazuki, I was reading the wrong list. Even if he tries to deny who he really is, I'm going to create a sound that'll make my friend's heart ache. That's all there is to it. Yeah, there it is again. That pain in my chest that makes you want to, like, just lose your shit. Oh my God. Kazuki's fists were clenched. His eyes shimmered with what might have been tears. I feel like my eyes are shimmering with what might be tears because of this, okay? His sadness and joy were mirrored in my own chest. It really was just as Sasazuke had said. I might have been overprotective of Kazuki. There had been little point in wondering whether Kazuki would be able to make it on his own. He accepted Akito Sera for who he is. At the very least, he's doing his best to move on. It's a difficult time. You won't appreciate you sticking your nose into it, even if you are family. It was embarrassing to admit that Sasazuka had known Kazuki even better than I. His own sister had, well, it's probably Kazuki, right? Not Kazuki, it's Kazuki. I'm saying it wrong, but I can't now. I can't change it now, even though I know in my head. My brain is like, it's not probably how you pronounce it, but I probably didn't know it back then, but I probably watched anime or something where that name has popped up, and now it dawns on me that I've been saying it wrong the whole time. But we know that I say everything wrong, so whatever. Anyway, I don't know where the accentuations go on Japanese names. You know what I mean? Anyway, and this got pretty heavy. The fan should have cleared out by now. Why don't you go home with Kazuki? But I can't say it that way. I've been saying it wrong for years. Oh, so anyway. We're leaving separately. She's staying with her man now. Ah, Sasazuka. Speaking of whom, why isn't he with you tonight? Normally just follow you around looking all sullen. Well, as I struggled to explain, Kazuki glared at me. Suspiciously. I'm trying to say Kazuki, right? I'm trying. Gonna slip out wrong every once in a while, because it's like old habit, you know what I mean? It's like, my name is Bob. Yeah, but I've been calling you Tim for a year, so you're Tim forever now, you know? What happened? Did you fight? He didn't hit you, did he? No, I just made him angry. We had an argument and we disagree on things. I made him angry. He also made me angry, but I guess that's not important. Like, whatever. Anyway. When I vehemently denied his questions, Kazuki's gaze prompted me to explain further. He wasn't exactly unrelated, so after some thought, I continued. So, things have gotten a little awkward since. What the heck? Kazuki looked irritated after I finished telling him the story. I felt that it was only natural. His sister had happily moved out to live with her boyfriend less than a month ago, and had gotten herself into a silly bind. Sorry for dumping this on you. I don't care about that. How do I say this? Didn't he bother explaining it to you? Would have settled things before they got this far. Kazuki? I mean, I guess I'm partly responsible for it, too. Responsible? For what? What's this about? I told him to prove to Spacey how much he cares about her. I said that I'd be fine on my own and that you guys didn't need to worry about me. Kazuki began describing a conversation he had with Sasazuka shortly before I moved out. What? And you're moving in together next week? Where's this coming from? Shut up already. That's why I'm here, to tell you first. You need to calm down. You and your sister are always on such short fuses. Speaking of the person who has none, how am I supposed to calm down? It's so sudden. It isn't sudden. She and I are both functional adults, not middle schoolers who just started dating. This is typical for a couple that have been seeing each other for this long. A couple of months? Really? That doesn't seem normal, but okay. Well, yeah. Besides, aren't you the one who's always saying how much easier life would be if you lived alone? Or are you as much of a sister lover as I think you are? I'm not taking the bait. I know it even without you saying it that way. Yeah, I know that I'm holding my sister back. So, Sasazuka, I have a favor to ask of you. When he first said that you were moving in together, I was mostly surprised. I didn't trust him. In fact, I didn't even like him. And I didn't want to leave you in his hands. But it also seemed like a good opportunity for me to try to take the next step. And the next step being you working up the courage to be apart from your sister. Kazuki nodded at Ishiki. Then he turned back to me. Miss Spacey, ever since I moved to Tokyo, I know how much I've been relying on you. And I know it's not right for me to keep weighing you down. So I made up my mind. I told him to take care of my sister and that I'd manage on my own for 2 weeks. I'm not sure why I didn't bother making that clear to you, though. Because he's an asshole. Kazuki, you know what he said to me? He said that family is the most important thing in your life. You're wise, kid. Huh? What the? Hey, stop ruffling my hair! You made a choice on your own, not because someone forced it on you. A lot of grown men can't even do that. I don't know what is happening with the voices here. They're just all over the place. I'm sorry. You can't get the right Sasazuka voice. I don't remember what we had. He was bitchy, but now that he's being nice, it's hard to do it. Because it's like, it's so much easier to just be like, whatever. But then, Kazuki's like that too. So it's really fucking hard to find like, whatever. Like, pitch balance. Can't do it. Can't have you two in the same scene. Okay? We can't. Can't do it. Anyway, you trying to kiss up to me now? No point in flattering you, idiot. If I wanted something from you, I'd just take it. Liar. What? I know it's all talk. Well, someone's got a mouth. Keep it up and I'll steal her away for real. That's not what I'm getting at. I know that if you really didn't care about how she felt, then you wouldn't be here today. So you do understand. Yeah, if her family is important to her, then I'll make it my family too. I still don't trust you, and personally, I hate your guts. I don't think you're a bad guy, so I'm gonna test you and see whether you're worthy of Spacey. So cute, our little baby brother is like seeing if a man's worthy of us. Oh, I'll decide that for myself, but, I understand the sentiment, so. Kazuki. Nah, you don't get to call me by my first name. We're not friends. I skipped that too fast, sorry. I shouldn't have asked you to call me Big Brother. You can just call me Bro. Don't let it get in your head, asshole. Get out of my house. Huh. You really do have the same short fuse as her. All right, I'm done here. I'll take good care of your sister. Oh, you're so precious. Sasazuka. I'm still just a kid. I know how much my big sister worries about me. Especially once Akito got arrested. I couldn't believe it, and I took it out on you and everyone around me. Proved how immature I still am. It's really hard when your boyfriend gets arrested and you just haven't admitted that you love him, okay? It's difficult. You're at a very weird place right now. You'd probably still think that you have to protect me just like you did when we were kids, but... No, that's not true, Kazuki. I hadn't had an earnest discussion like this with Kazuki since late last year. As I interrupted him, I gently shook my head. It's true that when you first came to Shinjuku, I thought of you the same way that I had since we were young. No, in fact, I probably still do even now. I'm your big sister, so I have to protect you. But after seeing you play today, it changed my mind. It made me realize that you can carve out a path for yourself on your own. Your music swayed the hearts of so many people. You did all that without any of my help. That's right. I can guarantee that's true. Kazuki, you're already a fine, independent artist. Ishiki nodded in agreement. Kazuki opened and closed his mouth 2 or 3 times. In the end, he just nodded meekly. If that's how you feel, then I think you should keep living with him and stop worrying about me. You sure? Doesn't matter. I don't have the right to stop you anyway. Even if I tried, you wouldn't listen. Besides, I want to do this. You already said that you'd root for me. It wouldn't be fair if I didn't support your dreams, too. Thanks, Kazuki. This is so cute. I love our baby brother instantly. Find a way to make up with him, alright? Yeah, we'll be fine. I love Sasazuka after all. Don't get all mushy on me. Think about how it feels to hear your own sister bragging about her relationship. Especially when your boyfriend's in jail. God, sucks. Sorry. This is good, though. Being honest with each other about your feelings. Honesty reaches the heart more directly than any song. I think so, too. Thank you, Ishiki. I said goodnight to them both, then exited the place. On the way out, I paused and turned around. A part of me is a little lonely to see my baby brother all grown up, but I'll always be rooting for you. Good luck, Kazuki. Yeah, you too. Sasazuka's personality is the worst of the worst. If you could pick anyone else, I'd say you should stick with him. After all, there aren't too many other guys who take a girl as annoying as you. You're actually a perfect match for each other. Hey, that's not true. I hope. Oh, yeah? Would you settle for me, then? A little bit, yeah. I'm surprised we don't get her out with you, because you're fucking adorable. That'd be amazing. It'd be so fucking weird because I'm dating a rock star. I just don't see her with a rock star, but, I'd still go for it anyway, because he's precious. It'd be an honor to date you, sir, but my heart's already settled. I laughed, then walked out the door and exited the club. I like how she said that, though. She wasn't like, what? Oh my God, it's awkward. She was like, I would be honored to date you. But unfortunately, they did not give you a route in this game. I felt nothing but gratitude towards my family and friends who supported me. I looked up at the sky. The moon was hidden behind thick clouds. I walked home. There were 4 days left until our stay together would be over. I didn't want to let it end on this awkward note. I wonder how I should bring the topic up to Sasazuka when he gets home. I pondered the discussion as I walked. And then it started pouring. Rain began to patter down around me. Before long, hold on. That sneeze came out of nowhere. Before long, it turned into a constant downpour. I did my best to stay out of the rain and ducked under a roadside tree. As I did, something caught my eye and I stopped. Oh, a baby puppy! A puppy? I saw a pair of round black eyes peeking up at the sky out of a cardboard box in the shadow of a telephone pole. Poor little baby puppy's all wet. The small, dirty puppy whined. I probably couldn't understand what was happening. They're so sad. They just, put him in a box and he's just sitting there I'm sad and I'm cold and I'm wet and I'm hungry. Instead of, roaming around, he's just sitting in the box, waiting for something. Oh. When I leaned in close to look, the puppy didn't shy away. Its tail began wagging happily. Come here, boy. I picked up the dog in my arms to shield it from the rain. I looked around, but didn't spot anyone that might have been the dog's owner. He's sitting in a box. They abandoned him. That is I put him out here in a box. Perhaps it had just been abandoned here recently. Fortunately, it didn't seem sick or weak. I had no doubt how it would have ended up if it was left out in the rain for an extended time. I should find a vet, but none would be open at this hour. I need to take it someplace warm first. For better or worse, Sasazuka's place was just a bit further. I took out my phone, trying to stay out of the rain, as I typed a message. I need to talk to you. Can I call you? No reply. He was probably absorbed in his work. I didn't want to ring his phone repeatedly, so I put mine back in my pocket. I should have only picked up this puppy if I was willing to take responsibility for its life. I'd heard such opinions before, and right now I agreed with them. But I unconsciously shook my head. The dog didn't have a collar. It was a child with no home to return to. I had absolutely no intention of leaving this trembling puppy to fend for itself. Yeah, you just keep it for the night. You know what I mean? And then you bring it to the vet or a shelter or something the next day, if that's what you want to do. But you take him in for the night, poor thing. And they allow pets here, so you can stay whenever you want. What are you calling a pet? Oh, perfect. Now I got a dog. Should have seen this coming. With the they allow pets here. We're gonna find a fucking animal, aren't we? Didn't even. In the end, she's gonna abandon the puppy. If she abandoned that puppy, I'd abandon this game. What a heartless bitch. I'm not a dog person, but I wouldn't abandon a poor little puppy. There, all done. I do like how we switch back and forth. And I'm finished here too, Sasazuka. The data's all uploaded. Got it. Solid work. I hit the enter key one last time and took a deep sigh. We just finished sifting through a trove of intel about domestic smugglers and arms dealers. Cybercrime could finally take a break now that the task was done. Finally, I get to sleep! I don't think you can relax just yet. I've only gone through part of the client list. Who would have thought these guys were backed by an international terrorist group? If we're dealing with an organization that spans multiple countries, there's only so much a national police agency can do. Well, we've done all we can. Now it's up to our allies to finish the job. Besides, their main server isn't even connected to the internet. Unless someone's physically on site to hack it, this is as far as we can go. Pretty much. As impressive as movies love to make hacking look, couldn't get you access to everything. That's not true. I learned everything I know about hacking from movies. You just type furiously, I'm in. And about 2 minutes later, you're in. Oh, you have to put glasses on, though. You have to put your glasses on, have a ton of snacks. I mean, he does that, kind of, without the glasses, but he has the donut. Tons of candy all over your desk, and type furiously! Non-stop typing furiously. Furious typing. Like Bongo Cat. Furious typing. I'm in. No. See? I just hacked. You did. Oh, and there's usually someone on the other side furiously typing to lock you out. I got through. No, you're not going to stop. And then you're having a hacking battle. Absolutely how it works. If the adversary had a standalone system, there's only so much we could do from here. Standalone. A standalone is desktop or laptop PC that doesn't need to be connected to a network to function. Even if one does connect a standalone to a network, it's still considered a standalone. However, by having it function isolated from a network, it's easier for it to repel most hacking and intrusion attacks. And my coworkers took the chance to ease up and relax. I allowed myself to stretch a little too. I've been here for 2 days straight. I checked my phone and noticed that there was an unread message. She messaged me about 2 hours ago. Curiously, I typed out a reply. No. Sorry, just saw this. I'm on my way home now. He's gonna walk in and be like, what? She's like, so we need to talk. Oh God, you're leaving me, aren't you? No, I found a puppy. He's like, wait. I'm happy that you're not leaving me, but you found a puppy. Did you want me to leave you? No, but, now I don't know what to be mad at. Apparently been raining recently. I took my usual route home while treading on damp ground. You know what's the matter. Although I was finally done with work, I sensed that I was about to face an even greater ordeal. He thinks he's getting yelled at. He thinks he's getting broken up with or yelled at. I guarantee it. It had been 2 days since Spacey and I had that argument. My temper had cooled by now, but that might not be true for her. And your indecision is proof that you want to make up with her. At the end of the day, he's right. I treasure our life together, and I don't want to let that go. I can't deny it. Mulling over Minagishi's words, I continued my commute home. I'm sorry. He's like, oh my God, I thought she was breaking up with me. She's like, you've been pacing around outside the apartment for an hour. I can see you. And so she's the first to say it, huh? I thought we'd break the ice before getting into it. How should I respond since she apologized ahead of me? While I mulled it over, my phone beeped with another message. I want to apologize in advance because I think you're going to be upset. Huh? We can talk about it once I get back. That too, but there's something else. What is she talking about? I want to apologize now because you're going to get mad. He's going to be like, are you breaking up with me? She's like, no, I found a dog. He normally would probably be pissed about the dog, but he's like, should I be pissed or happy? I'm not sure. Like, we're really fucking with this guy. It's great. A new pang of anxiety quickened my pace. He thinks he's getting dumped. I'm sorry, but I'm out. When I finally arrived home, what she should do is have some of her stuff in a bag, and he'd be like, oh my God, you're leaving me? No, I wanted you to think that I'm actually not going anywhere. But if now you're happy, I have a dog. Can't wait for this. I'm back. Welcome home! Uh-huh. When Spacey greeted me, I frowned at her suspiciously. She'd just come out of the back room and was acting strangely. A back room? How many back rooms do you have if you sleep in the living room? Did you just get back? You look so tired. Yeah, I did. I'm sorry to spring this on you right away, but I need to explain first. Yesterday? It's about a couple days ago, actually. I know. It's about yesterday, right? We need to talk about it. Uh-huh. Oh, yeah, there is that. But first, you don't need to say it. Let me start this time. Let's not talk in the doorway. Can we do it over dinner? Okay? She's like, he's gonna hear the dog bark. Since we were getting to make up today, I decided to make a lot of Sasazuka's favorite foods, since we were going to make up today. I planned to prepare a feast of fried shrimp, potato croquettes, hamburger steak, and other treats. Hamburger steak that he enjoyed. He's gonna be like, what? You're making my favorite foods. You really are breaking up with me. Am I going to die? What's going on? Though I opted not to comment on the fact that these were all items that young children tended to enjoy. There is nothing wrong with fucking chicken nuggets and fucking mac and cheese sometimes, okay? It would probably upset him. But more importantly, as Sasazuka poked at a croquette, I looked towards the bedroom. What should I do? Where's it hiding anyway? Okay, so I guess he does have a bedroom, but it always looks like that's his living room. I guess that's weird. I don't know. I completely let the window dimension it pass. Well, we did need to talk about our disagreement. This was more pressing. This is good. I'm glad you like it. Eat plenty, okay? Sasazuka sat at the dining table and ate silently. Maybe he was tired from working overtime, or maybe he felt awkward about the day before yesterday. You leave the door open a crack, the puppy will come out, and then you'd be like, oh, by the way, puppy. That's how you let it mention. You're like, oh, well, so I was going to tell you when you first walked in, but then you wanted to have dinner, and there you go. I hesitated to bring up the topic so long that he finished eating before I said anything. An awkward silence passed between us as if we both didn't know where to start. Despite our agreement to have discussion over dinner, that too passed without any conversation. Then Sasazuka wrinkled his nose quizzically. What's that sweet smell? Sorry, I forgot I was still cooking. I hastily apologized to Sasazuka, then ran back to the kitchen. Thank goodness it turned out well. I shut off the stove and removed the lid, allowing a fragrant aroma to fill the room. I carefully removed the dish and brought it to the dining table. You still have room for this? Oh, sure. Good, here's your dessert. Though it might be a little heavy to be called dessert. This is... When I set the serving plate down on the table, Sasazuka's eyes widened in surprise. Oh my god, you made him his favorite dessert and he thinks he's gonna die now. Minagishi stopped by my office the other day. He told me how you were acting strange and that you even offered him some of your donuts. I know this doesn't make up for the other day, but I wanted to eat these together. I presented a plate of delicacies that tickled the nose with their sweet and luxurious fragrance. Did you make homemade donuts? Sasazuka's kitchen didn't have an oven, so it had to improvise with the stovetop recipe. The donuts were a simple design, glazed in maple syrup. She made her own fucking donuts! Damn it. I'm like a loyal puppy, I can't take this. Sasazuka slowly bit into one of the donuts. A smile spread across his face. There's nothing to apologize for. I'm the one who used your brother against you. Yeah, Hazuki told me about it. He also told me how you respected his desire for independence. So, I'm sorry. I should have been more receptive to what you were thinking. Doesn't anyone know how to keep a secret around here? I joined Sasazuka in eating the donuts. I do! I've had a secret that I've been holding all night long. I never had donuts that were fried on the stovetop before. They warmed my cheeks. Anyway, I'll admit that I was harsher on you than I needed to be. If I had just chosen my words better, it wouldn't have gotten this bad. That's how I feel now. Is he weeping? Sweating, but... Huh. What's that look supposed to mean? I hope you don't get mad if I say this. I won't. Just say it. Well, it's just that I think this is the first time you've ever regretted saying something. Fine, I take it back. I'm gonna make you regret that. Hey, you said you wouldn't get mad. We laughed as we savored the gentle sweetness of the donuts. Once the chuckling stopped, Sasazuka turned away and murmured, Until now, I've never once regretted or reflected on my own actions when I got into an argument with someone else. And they're usually the one who was wrong anyway. Never even thought of them as arguments. It just felt like I was telling them how things were supposed to be done. After that, people kept their distance from me, and that's as far as our relationship would go. So, you're the first person I've ever felt that way about. Sasazuka turned and looked me in the eye. Oh, frosty little muffin, it's so cute. His eyes were narrowed with something that looked like displeasure, and his lips tapered into a scowl. And you're the first to ever make me apologize. You make me want to stay with you so badly that I'll even admit I'm sorry to make it happen. I'll even admit I'm sorry to make it happen. The man I loved could be sarcastic and mean-spirited, but I also considered him the most adorable person in the world. He kind of fucking is. He's an angry muffin, but he's adorable. Sorry, I've said too much. Sasazuka broke off and looked away sulkily. Wait, seriously? Your boyfriend opens up his heart to you and that's how you react? Sorry, even for an apology, it was just so like you. I'm glad you haven't changed a bit. As I laughed, Sasazuka's expression grew even more dour. I looked back into his eyes. I regret what I said too. You said all that because you were actually looking out for Kazuki. You're always thinking about what's best for us. I'm ashamed that I didn't notice just how much my brother had grown up. That's what I was trying to tell you. When you're too close to someone, you can't see who they've become. Is that a compliment? Do I come off as that much of a nice guy to you? You do. That's why I love you. You're so kind, even if the way you show it is clumsy. I wasn't sure who moved first, but our lips gently touched. Aww. It was like when I first moved in. The kiss marked the resumption of our life together. And there's still a few days left. Can I keep going? Of course. So once again, I hope not too much of a burden to you, but thanks for letting me stay. Also, there's a dog. You heard that? Did you hear it? I don't know if you could hear a puppy bark. Did you just bark? I know I'm always calling you a dog, but you don't have to go that far. I don't hate it, but try not to do that in public. I didn't bark. That's what I've been trying to talk to you about. My excuses were accompanied by more quiet whines. As soon as I looked toward the source of the noise, a fluffy, round, brown thing came bounding out of a closet. A dog? The puppy I brought home ran up to Sasazuka, its tail wagging curiously. We're having an argument, so I got a dog. Look, I found him. I didn't just, like... He looks so... He's like, what the fuck is this? And we're like, look at the dog. And the dog loves him, and he's like, I hate this. It started licking him all over the face. Sasazuka seemed at a complete loss, which was unusual for him. What's going on here? Well, there's a very good explanation for this. Give me a convincing explanation in 5 words or less. Don't people usually say 5 seconds or less? 5. Oh, fine. 5, 4, 3. I found it abandoned! In the end, I was cowed by Sasazuka's glare and the energetic puppy in his arms, and ended up explaining everything. He's glaring at you while petting and, like, totally loving the fluffy puppy. I told him how I found the puppy on the way home and couldn't bear to leave it out in the rain, and decided on my own to take it home. I also explained how the timing to tell him hadn't seemed right when he wanted to talk about our fight. Sasazuka listened to my story, idly scratching the puppy's neck. He's so loving. You know I don't like dogs, as he's loving the puppy. Who's a good puppy? Anyway, he sighed. You picked up a puppy on a rainy day. What is this, a sitcom? No, it's an Otome game. You're angry. I'm amazed at how impressionable you are. Sorry. What are you apologizing for? I just said I was upset. Like I said before, they allow pets here. Leaving aside the question of whether it can stay, there's no problem with bringing it here. More importantly... Yeah, look how happy he is! He loves the puppy! I don't hate dogs. Sasazuka picked up the dog in both hands and brought it up to his eye level. Oh my god, look, he's so happy! He played with its pink paws, and the puppy fidgeted as if it had been tickled. Then he brought it close to his chest. And there. You got nothing to be afraid of. This is so adorable, I think I'm gonna vomit. Are you hungry? You must be. I bet you've been smelling all this yummy food for a while. Hey, Spacey, get some milk. But just enough for it to lap up. We don't want it getting a stomachache. I'll go buy some dog food later. Stop looking at me like that. Oh, right. You're Sasazuka, right? Who else would I be? But you're being so nice. I'm always nice. You were just saying earlier what a nice guy I am. I did say that, didn't I? I thought I deserved a compliment for not blurting out a witty retort. Sasazuka glanced at me while he nuzzled the puppy's fur. I know we're over time, but we gotta go place this up. So, does it have a name? If it does, I don't know it. It didn't have a collar or anything to identify it. We should give it a name so we know what to call it. I'll call it Spacey then. What? No, he's happy and she's pissed. Aren't you a cute one, Spacey? You're fluffy, honest, and charming, unlike a certain someone I can name. What are you insinuating? You got a problem with us, Spot? You don't like it, you gotta be cuter than your rival here. Of course I'm cuter than a dog. Wait, why do you name it after me? We're sleeping together tonight, by the way. Sasazuka remarked nonchalantly as he played with the puppy's cheeks. He's like, we're having sex later. You are the... Well, when he says sleeping together, you're like, wait, am I sleeping on the floor and the dog's sleeping in the bed with you? Or you mean, like, sleeping together like we're having sex? Like, then it's me, I hope, because I don't think that's allowed. For a second, I was taken aback. So, should I set out a futon for me to sleep on by myself? Yeah, make sure you get enough sleep for the rest of your time here. You belong to me. Without a word, I approached and plucked the puppy from Sasazuka's hands. Hey, give it back. No. I want to pet it some more. I said no. This, out of context, is a weird conversation. I'm the one who named it, so it's basically mine. Then you belong to me, Sasazuka. I shot Sasazuka's upset glare right back at him. Then I set the puppy down on the floor and plopped myself down on his lap. This is my seat. Girl! He did that up here. He was like, this is an outcome I am happily unexpected. I won't give it up, not to a dog, a cat, or any other person. I declared it boldly to his face. I know we're over time, but... Yeah, I get it. Sorry for teasing you. But can't believe you're actually jealous of a dog. Sasazuka burst into laughter as he hugged me lovingly. Perfect time to end it. Okay, I know it's that chapter 3 is probably not quite, it's going to be over in a moment probably, but we're going to stop here because we're over time and we will continue in the next part. So I will see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.